Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Talisman, the warrior's mission this time. Rather than the priest's attempt to covet the crown of command, this time the warrior's after it. So, well, I mean the priest is after it again, but he's not us. Anyway, we had a pretty frustrating run in episode 1, I have to say. Some of the problems were bad decision making on my part. For instance, getting overconfident and attacking the wizard, thereby losing the rune sword to him. That was a mistake. Also, when I used a teleport function to go to the priest's space to attack him, really, I should have noticed that he was standing on the woods and remembered that he'd taken my follower that allowed him to evade there. So those were errors on my part, certainly. But a lot of the other stuff that went wrong was the luck of the draw. Stuff like the way we kept rolling bad rolls in combat, and the way that the priest chose to steal our follower. Things like that. Just bad luck, essentially. Hopefully we can pull it back this time, because that is one of the things about a heavily dice-based game. It can turn around very, very quickly. You can start off in a strong lead and then find yourself absolutely trailing later on. So, let's hope the die is with us this time. Let's roll. 3. So-so. Middle of the road. Non-committal. What have we got over here on the plains? We've got Pool of Life. 4 life points are found here. We can pick one up if we go and visit that space. And this one is a straight card draw. So I reckon it's tempting to go for the card draw, though, simply because we don't have much stuff. We basically just have a sword, and that's it. Yeah, I'm going to go for the card draw. It's a bit unorthodox, but Alchemist. Okay, so you've got a follower who can convert objects into gold. Not immediately useful, because we only have one object at the moment, and we want to keep it. But it has potential. Someone's drawn a teleport spell. Remember, if you will, that the priest currently has a wand, which means that every time he uses his last spell, he draws another one. And I would like very much to take that wand from him, should the opportunity arise. Come on, attack me! Attack me! Good man. I can't believe he actually fell for that. Why are you attacking a warrior? What's wrong with you? You have strength 2! I have an effective strength of 5 here. So, as before, we get to roll 2 dice in physical combat, and the higher result is the one that we'll use. 3. I can't believe we drew. Clearly, the dice are farting in my face once again. That was a golden opportunity to take the wand from the priest, and we whiffed it with a 3. Unbelievable. Well, we're back to our turn now. Obviously, we're not going to land on the priest this time, because we have to move away from him. What's on this space? That is... oh, that's that card. The amulet. If we pick that up, no spells can affect us. We also can't cast spells, but we don't have any. So, it actually might be worth going there and picking that up. And then we can drop it later if we do get a spell that we want to cast. Considering that if we'd had this earlier, we wouldn't have had our follower stolen from us by the priest, this is probably worth taking. And we only have 2 objects total, so we're nowhere near the threshold of 4 that will be our limit here. Those 2 going to duke it out? Yes, they are. Please, wizard, do not take the wand. You don't need it. You have that ability naturally. And I'm not confident in my ability to mug you for the wand, so please don't take it. Good. He just took a life from the priest. The priest is now down to 2 lives, I think. Oh no, that's the wrong stat. As before, I actually can't see the very bottom of the screen, so I can't see how many lives he has. Irritatingly. It's just the way the window's proportioned. Could go full screen, but then Bandicam wouldn't record it. So, the troll is picking up a life from the pool of life there, which is probably a good call. Of course, with our alchemist follower, when we're done with this amulet, we can actually turn it into gold, which is definitely preferable to dropping it. Let's roll. Okay, we've got a 5. So, what I'm going to do is go to the village and see if we can pick up this sword. I don't know if we'll be able to. Yes! We can do that, even though it's not a draw card space. I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't sure if we'd be able to even encounter the cards, since you can't usually draw cards on this space. But we can, so let's take that. Being a warrior, we can dual wield. So, it's not as good as the rune sword, but it does give us that extra 1 point in combat. And now we'll have to just encounter the mystic. So, let's roll. And we've got a 3 ignored, which is okay. Obviously not beneficial, but also not harmful, so that's okay. Wizard is torn between tavern and city. He's going to the tavern. Wizards do like a good drink, it's true. He rolled a 2, which I think means he has to fight a farmer. But he's suitably equipped to do so, frustratingly. The farmer picked a fight with the wrong bearded old man. The wizard is casting invisibility for some reason. Don't know what he did that for. Oh, he may have cast it to avoid the combat. I'm not sure if that's how that works. But in any case. Priest has just had an adventure card draw there. Trolls rolled a 6. So he could attack the priest, but he's choosing not to. He seems to be avoiding the priest a lot. That's a rough draw. Craft of 10. The troll is really not up to that. Even with a 1, the demon's owning his ass. So the troll, of course, will lose a life there. So we're up next. And we've got a 6. So we could go and attack the wizard, but... Let's see, he has 4 strength at the moment, plus he has the rune sword or the axe. He can use one or the other, not both because he's not us. So that gives him an effective strength of 5. We have an effective strength of 6 with our 2 swords. Wrong thing there. Okay, yeah, 2 swords, giving us an effective strength of 6. Now, I got overconfident with this before and paid the price. It's so tempting to have a go, but we've done so badly on dice rolls. I mean, the alternative is that we just encounter the tavern as normal. Well, let's go to the tavern space, at least. Oh, bollocks to it, let's live dangerously. This could well just be repeating history here. Let's do it. Okay, we've got a 6. Come on, wizard. Yes! Excellent. So, what do we want to take from him? We could take the axe, which, of course, would be a damn good item, because that'll enable us to build a raft to cross into the middle region. But we can always just pick one of those up at the blacksmith. Actually, I'm not sure about the blacksmith, but the market, definitely. Whereas the rune sword is a one-off, so we're taking our rune sword back. It's a shame we don't get to take a life from him as well, but that'll have to do. While we're here, I guess I will have our alchemist follower turn our bog standard, or one of our 2 bog standard swords into gold, since we're not going to need it anymore. And that should be the end of our turn, I think. Why are we not able to end the turn here? I guess this is a glitchy thing. Yeah, we appear to have run into a glitch here. Can we end the turn, please? Please? Okay. So, it looks like we've caused a bug to occur. I'm going to go away and see if I can fix this. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. So, what I had to do there was quit the game and then reload the most recent save. Basically hit resume. And that started us off from the beginning of our turn here. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to tackle the wizard again. If we roll. We did roll a suitable number, coincidentally enough. Of course, what could happen here is that it will go the opposite way and we'll actually lose. Knowing my luck, that is exactly what's going to occur. Let's try. No, we got a 6 again. Lucky, lucky. Okay, good. So, what I'm going to do here is take the rune sword, as before, and I'm going to wait until the next turn to have the alchemist turn our sword into gold. Again, I feel I should qualify that there will be occasional bugs and things like this in the game, because it is unfinished. It's still in development. These things happen. Okay, so, priest's up next. I feel a little better, a little redeemed, having got the rune sword back. But I do still want to try and target the priest in order to get the wand from him. The wand is a hell of a good item. It was always one of my favourite items in the board game version of the game. So we could attack the wizard again, I guess. But, well, what's that? That's the space that has lives on it, right? Yeah, let's do that. And we'll encounter... Oh no, it's a shrine. My mistake. Ooh, sloppy play there, Alan. Okay, well, let's encounter the space and have a roll. And we've got a 6. Teleport to any space in this region. Okay, this might actually be our chance to try the priest again. He can't evade because he's not on the woods. Let's do it. Let's see if we can take the wand. Encounter character. I'm coming for you, priest. I am so coming for you. I don't know if we're going to be using the rune sword here, because we now actually have 3 swords. So we might be using the 2 standard swords by default. I'm not sure. But I'm not planning to take a life from him anyway. I'm planning to take his wand. 3 is not brilliant. But he rolled a 1, which is less brilliant. So, let's take his wand! Actually, we're currently up to our limit of items, which is unfortunate. It means we're going to have to drop one. So, I'm going to drop the amulet. Ditch that card. Good. Now we'll draw a spell. Teleport. So that's alright. That's a pretty good spell. And we'll continue and end our turn. Should have turned that sword into gold at the start of the turn, but forgot to. We'll do that next turn. I don't feel too bad about dropping the amulet. The wizard is building a raft to go over into the middle region, so clearly he's feeling ambitious. Of course, if he manages to get to the oasis, then he'll be able to pick up a talisman, which is not immediately useful, but we do all need it if we're going to get to the Crown of Command. The troll made a pretty good choice attacking the priest there. The priest is just being everyone's whipping boy at the moment, but the troll really could scarcely lose there. Okay. Or was it the priest attacking the troll? I lost track. If so, then he's a complete dumbass. Now, before we roll, I'm going to use the alchemist to turn one of our swords into gold, thereby getting an extra gold and also freeing up an item slot. So, that's good. What else do we have? We have the rune sword, bog standard sword, and the wand, which will ensure that we always have one spell for as long as we're carrying it. Good. Okay, let's roll. 3. And we have the alchemist as a follower, but no other followers, which is certainly a shame. That's the healer, I think. Yeah. He'll heal up to 2 lives per visit for any character free of charge. Our starting life was 5, so I think we should be able to get a heal there. Let's see. Encounter him. Yes, so we're back up to 5. For free, so that's good. So he's sort of a charitable healer. The wizard has built a raft, but he's going to have to drop one of his items, because the raft does count as an item, even though you lose it after 1 use. Okay. Priest is running into a hobgoblin, which is an unfortunate draw, but not a huge deal. He can take it. But he didn't. So, he's losing a lot of combats at the moment. So maybe it's just a thing with the priest. I mean, he's having pretty much the same run of luck as we did the last time round when we played as the priest. Troll's up next, and he can just chase down the priest. Are you going to... He is! Beat down that priest! Yeah! Yep, that's pretty much it for the priest. Go on, kill him. Yeah! He had that coming. Okay. We could cast our teleport spell, but is there a particular space I want to teleport to? Not bothered about fighting that spirit. What's that thing? Holy Grail. No evil character may have it. Add 1 to your craft and functions as a water bottle, which is alright. I mean, it's pretty good, but that would then fill up our whole object category. We wouldn't be able to carry any more. I'm tempted to just go for a straight card draw somewhere. It's a shame that the Ruins has a dragon on it. I still don't feel up to taking out the dragon. I like the Ruins space. It allows you to draw 2 cards. So, since there isn't a space here... What's on this one? Armour. Since there isn't a space here that I'm particularly bothered about encountering as soon as possible, I don't see a lot of point in taking... Yeah, that's just that again. In using the teleport spell. So let's just roll. 1 is okay. The graveyard replenished fate up to your fate value. Our starting fate, which I think was 1, at the cost of 1 gold each. Well, we have 0 fate at the moment, which means we can't re-roll if things go badly wrong. So I think it's actually worth going there and expending 1 gold to get that 1 fate point back, in case we have a really rough roll and need to re-roll it. Okay, the wizard has gone over to the oasis. He'll need to fight first. Actually, I think maybe he encountered the hermit first. But either way, he should be able to get a talisman from the hermit. So I'm just swigging my tea there. Why did he roll there? That's very strange. Shouldn't he have just picked up a talisman? Okay, that seems like maybe a bug. Because I rolled the die when I drew the hermit and he appeared on the oasis. So really, what should have happened is he just goes there and picks up a talisman. But that seems to not be what's happened. So another bug, I guess. But again, work in progress. Troll has been ignored at the shrine, which suits me. Don't particularly want him benefiting. Let's roll. So 4 can take us back to the church, or the chapel, which is pretty much irrelevant. Or is that the forest? Yes. Don't particularly want to go to the forest. But you know what? It does have a couple of possible good effects. If we get a 6, a ranger will give you an additional craft. Even if we roll a 1, we'll have a good chance of beating the brigand, and I think, thanks to the rune sword, that will actually give us an extra life. So, let's brave it and see what happens. 2. Okay, so we're lost. We lose a turn, which is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened. But never mind. Them's the breaks when you're playing Talisman. So, Wizard has run into raiders. That's rough. Took all his gold. I don't know how much he had, but clearly at least some. I can see a little pile of gold at the oasis there. Priest has drawn a market, which is nice, actually. If I can acquire 2 gold, I'd like to stop by the market and buy a mule. Unfortunately, that's a lot of ifs. If I can do 2 things that give me more gold, and I can happen to draw the right, or roll the right number to land on the market. What I could do, of course, is use my teleport spell to take me to the market. But first, I need to get those 2 gold. Which is difficult when you're missing a turn. So Priest has gone to the tavern, he's rolling. He lost a gold. Tough draw. Priest is having bad luck. Which kind of seems to be the characteristic of the Priest, based on this run and the previous one, where we had all the bad luck. Troll has gone to the Enchantress, and he's gained a strength, which he didn't really need, but that just makes him all the more dangerous. Okay, we've got a 3, so we actually could go to the market naturally, but we don't have the gold to do anything with that. So let's go to the fields instead. And draw. We've got a unicorn, which is a follower, adds 1 to our strength and 1 to our craft. That is a damn good follower. So that means our effective strength in combat will now be 7, rather than 6, with our 2 swords and our unicorn. And our craft in combat, well actually, he adds 1 to your strength and 1 to your craft, not just in combat. So that means in other situations, like if you're trying to break open the portal of power to get into the inner region, that kind of thing. Where swords and other weapons only add to your strength in combat, the unicorn does not. So, in any case, in combat, effective strength of 7, in psychic combat, effective craft of 4, which definitely serves as a welcome bonus. We're actually doing a bit better on stats than we did with the priest. We didn't get much in the way of stat gains with the priest the last time round. Book of Spells, you gain your full complement of spells. That's a good draw for him. He should be able to have 3 total, I believe. Yeah. And he's run into some other stuff as well, which I didn't manage to catch. But that's okay. I would like to get into the middle region, actually, like the wizard, but the priest just managed to exorcise the demon, so at least that's off the board. That's nice. Yeah, I would like to get into the middle region, but of course I'd have to either beat the sentinel with his strength of, 9, I think? Which is not impossible, but it's tough. Or find another way across, mainly with a raft. Troll had to fight a wraith, and even with a good roll, he didn't manage to pull that off, because he's just not very crafty. Okay, now that we have 2 swords and a unicorn, that, as I said, gives us an effective strength of 7, which would actually make it not impossible to take on the sentinel. But I'm not sure I really want to brave that yet. It does mean we have the same effective strength as the dragon over there on the ruins. So if we go that way, it might actually be worth having a punt at beating that bastard. And actually, the magic portal that's on that space can shift us into the middle region. But I don't want to waste my teleport spell doing that. I want to save that for a time when it's really beneficial to teleport. So let's roll. Take it from there. We've got nothing to gain from the healer because we're at our initial complement of lives anyway, so let's just go to the fields and draw an adventure card. Cursed by a hag! All other followers immediately leave you, and they don't just drop on the space, you have to discard them. And you can't have any other followers. That's frustrating. We only had one other follower, the alchemist, but I was kind of relying on the alchemist to help me get the gold in order to buy a mule. I thought, yeah, turn some unwanted objects into gold, that's not too bad. But now we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way by just finding gold lying on the floor. Actually, I didn't look at how you get rid of the hag. You may have no other followers until you rid yourself of the hag by visiting the village mystic, even if he ignores you. Which, of course, means you have to not only go to the village, but you have to go to the mystic. So you can't go to the blacksmith or anything on that visit. Guy looked at the top 5 cards in the deck. That was an odd choice, actually. It displayed them to me as well as to him, which is not really what's meant to happen. Okay. Don't know what happened there. There was some spellcasting going on with the priest, but not really clear what happened. He's going to exorcise the shadow, I would imagine. Yeah. Which allows him to draw a spell as his reward for doing so. What's the troll going to get up to? Rolling a 1 isn't brilliant, but not a big deal. Princess, good follower. Quite why a princess would follow a troll, I don't know. Maybe she has some sort of Beauty and the Beast complex. Okay, got a 6. So 6 can take us to the marsh, which means we'll have to miss a turn. Actually, I don't know if the unicorn's 1 strength bonus would be enough to bump us out of the marsh without losing a turn. But let's not find out when we can go over to the hills and draw a card instead. Bag of gold. Okay, so that's 1 towards our mule fund. That's all we can do this turn, really. But that does take us 1 step closer to the mule. If I can get another gold, then I'll use the teleport spell to zoom me over to the market and I'll buy a mule there. The mule, if I haven't made this clear, is a follower. Oh, shit, that's right. It's a follower. I'll need to get rid of the hag before I can buy a mule. So I need to get to the village. Tempting to use the teleport spell to just take me straight to the village. But then, it'll be tougher for me to reach the market. So yeah, anyway, the mule is a follower that allows you to carry 4 extra objects. So 8 total instead of 4. You know what? I'm going to use teleport. Cast it. And then I'm going to go to the village. Oh, I have to press the spell deck first to replace the spell, thanks to having a wand. Temporal Warp. Cast at the start of your turn, you may take 3 successive turns instead of 1. That's actually quite nice. Alright, let's teleport to the village. And now we're there. We'll go to the Mystic. Roll the die. 1, which means we become evil. Which is okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a bit of a shame because it means we can't go to the chapel anymore. We'll lose a life if we do that. But it at least doesn't affect our ability to use the rune sword. If we'd rolled a 4 and become good, we wouldn't have been able to use the rune sword anymore. So it's not too bad becoming evil. And this should mean we get rid of the hag. Yes, she's no longer listed in our followers. Good. So now we will be able to pick up other followers, including the mule. Okay, apparently the wizard drew a raft. You can sometimes draw a raft just as an adventure card. You just find one on a space. So that may have been what happened there. And we'll see whether he uses it to go back to the outer region. Because in some ways there's not really any benefit to going to the middle region. There are some interesting spaces in there, but it's also a bit more dangerous. Troll managed to find some gold lying around. If only I'd found that myself. I could have then gone to the market. Of course, not with my teleport spell, because I used it. So, Ogre Strength 5. We should be able to take him. The alternative is going to the healer in the other direction, which we don't stand to gain from. Let's try it. Let's try taking the ogre. And the rune sword, if we beat it, the rune sword should give us an extra life. Here we go. Pair of 6s. So we'll get a 6. The ogre will get a 3. We take him down. And hopefully that'll give us an extra life via the rune sword. Let's see. Yes, up to 6 lives. Very nice. And notice the trade trophies option here on the right. So we've now accumulated over 7 strengths worth of enemies. So we've killed a strength 3 and we've killed a strength 5, which takes us over 7, which means we can trade those for a permanent +1 strength upgrade, taking us up to 5, which then means with our 2 swords and our unicorn, our effective strength in combat will be 8. So we're actually now effectively stronger than the dragon and almost as strong as the sentinel. So anyway, let's do this. Trade both of those. There we go. Strength bonus. And end the turn. Okay, wizard's rolled a 1. So he's going on to that space. I'm not sure what that one is. I'll have a look in a minute. Might be Warlock's Cave, maybe? Priest is taking the Holy Grail, which, to be fair, is a good pickup. Particularly for a good character like the Priest. It'll give him 1 craft. And it'll mean he won't lose a life if he finds himself landing on the desert. Why would he land on the desert, you might wonder? Well, how's he doing there? I think he's lost. Yeah, lost to the Spectre. Tough break. Yeah, why would the Priest land on the desert, you might wonder? Well, there are situations where, for instance, you might have the woods here with... You might be, say, on the temple in the corner there, and roll a 1, and the woods, just to the left, might have something really, really awful on it that you'd have to encounter. So you move in the other direction into the desert, and if you have a water bottle or the grail, then you basically just stand there and it doesn't hurt you. So if you have a supply of water, it can be a good way to evade unwanted encounters on other spaces. What was that? Was that Warlock's Cave? Yeah. you may roll 1 die to accept a quest. But we'll take our turn the next time round. That'll do it for this episode. Part 2 of the Warrior's mission to get the Crown of Command in Talisman Digital Edition. Thanks for watching as always. Come back next time, and we'll see if our slight, gradual upward trajectory manages to continue here. We are catching up, I feel. So come back the next time and we'll see how that goes. Until then, bye for now.